Hello again, my name's Gabe Zollner. I'm going to attach a couple of different links. This one was posted on the New York Times. Candidates' words on Vietnam service differ from history. This was posted on May the 17th in 2010. The reason I'm putting this video up is I want people to know the truth about Richard Blumenthal. At a ceremony honoring veterans and senior citizens who sent presents to soldiers overseas, Attorney General Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut rose and spoke of an earlier time in his life. This is when he was about to run for the Senate. Quote, "We have learned something important since the days that I served in Vietnam," Mr. Blumenthal said to the group gathered in Norfolk in March 2008. "And you exemplify it, whatever we think about the war, whatever we call it, Afghanistan or Iraq. We owe our military men and women unconditional support." There was one problem. Mr. Blumenthal, a Democrat now running for the U.S. Senate, never served in Vietnam. He obtained at least 5 military deferments from 1965 to 1970 and took repeated steps that enabled him to avoid going to war, according to records. I'm going to attach the link. You want to read more about Richard Blumenthal? I'm also going to attach another link. And I want you to go Google this because it's really informative. And what you want to Google, is it a federal crime to impersonate a military soldier? It's called the Stolen Valor Act. Now, the Stolen Valor Act is very, very clear. The problem is that it wasn't implemented when Richard Blumenthal made these lies. The Stolen Valor Act makes it a federal crime to do what Richard Blumenthal did. The Supreme Court ruled that it's okay to impersonate a soldier, but the Stolen Valor Act supersedes that. You need to understand that a lot of these people that represent themselves as being something other than they are, you notice that many of these folks that are willing to send your children to war won't send their own children to war, nor will they themselves go to war. Perfect example, Billy Bob Clinton. And our president, Donald J. Trump. He had bone spurs. Billy Bob Clinton had a number of deferments. George W. Bush was a deserter. He deserted the National Guard. And Barack Hussein Obama, who the hell knows about him? But I think we're learning. And I think once we learn all that we need to learn, he's going to find himself, well, he could find himself the same way as Saddam Hussein found himself, swinging from the end of a rope after he's found guilty of impersonating a president and countless other crimes. I'm going to attach the Stolen Valor Act of 2005. You sort of wonder why that wasn't held against Blumenthal when he ran for the Senate, since his act was in 2008. I don't make the news, folks. Just try to inform as many as I can about things that I think they need to be made aware of. Thanks for listening.